Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Yo, much love to the entire LDBC. As you see right here, we out here in this lake here, man. It's a nice day out, too. Nice cool breeze and everything, man. And, I like being out here on a nice quiet spring day, man, when the sun's out. Nice cool breeze and everything. Nobody, fucking around with me. You know what I'm saying? It's really nice out here. But I wanted to talk some things, that I wanted to talk about the state of the NBA in my view and why I have not watched as much NBA this year as I have in recent years. And the big issue I have with the NBA is that, the media has a lot to do why the NBA has really been a lot of crap. And here's why, okay? There's been a lot of analysts out there, and I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, that like to play these false narratives and create fake lies to try to draw in ratings. And because of that, anybody can make something out of social media and then all of a sudden turn around, take that lie, and then post it and then use it on television, on live television, and basically can try to make it as the truth. And right now, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I've not been a fan of that. You know why? Because apparently people like to believe in a lie instead of the truth. And I'm not for that. You know what I mean? It's one of the reasons why I haven't watched that much. I don't watch debate shows anymore. All right? This constant need of always wanting to spread lies all the time is ridiculous. You know what I mean? And because of that, there's been a lot more YouTube channels that pretty much have been countering those lies and narratives with the actual truth. And apparently, using the truth is not what people want to hear. They like to believe in the lie instead of the truth. And then also another thing that's been kind of, weighing my interest in the NBA this year. The constant need of super teams. You know what I mean? Constant movement of superstars, teaming up with one another. You know what I mean? Now, I do understand how, the NBA is a business. You know what I mean? There's a lot of players that are looking out for themselves. But when you got superstars that always wanted to team up with one another to try to win off of each other, to win a championship, it's really much out of control. You know what I mean? And people wanted to blame Kevin Durant for this, all right? LeBron pretty much kicked it all off at the start of the decade, when he decided to make the decision to go from Cleveland to South Beach. That's where a lot of people believe that where it began. But if you really look back, super teams have been there since the 60s, when Wilt Chamberlain, left Philadelphia to go to Los Angeles to play with, Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. The Celtics were a constructed super team. The Lakers were a constructed super team, and same with the Bulls too. But, we're having one superstar from another franchise to team up with another superstar franchise, it's something that it has not been heard of before. Now, people will say, what about the 97, Rockies that team up with Barkley with two other Hall of Famers? Here's the difference. Those guys were way past their prime at this point. Their best years were pretty much far behind them. So they were pretty much, you could say they were a super team on paper, but if you looked at the team at its context, they were basically pretty much the sum of their parts. They made one conference finals appearance back in 97, but ran into John Stockton and Karl Malone, who basically were dying to make their first trip to the NBA finals. And then now you got to this era. And it's really much waned my interest in the NBA. I still watch classic NBA games a lot more than I would say today's games. And even though I still have notifications and still, stay ahead of the stories, it's just this constant, trolling around of these NBA players is just driving me absolutely insane. And more about, the whole situation with Shannon Sharpe and Kevin Durant. Listen, Shannon Sharpe should have known better. All right, he should have known better. He should have checked the facts. He should have asked Kevin Durant, did you really say this back in 2017 or whatever, 2018, whatever? Did you really say this? And if Kevin Durant said no, then don't even talk about it. But since you ran with a fake quote that allegedly KD said, in which KD refuted and said, I never said that, and then you tried to, divert the conversation into something else, KD caught you on your hypocrisy. And what did you do? You ran from the smoke and you blocked him on Twitter. And then KD had to rightfully respond and say, I'm the sensitive one. You know what I mean? And I understand where a lot of these players are coming from. Listen, a lot of these players at this point right now, they're starting to catch on to what these analysts are doing and what the narratives are trying to, portray on these players. And I'm gonna tell you something. what you're gonna see, even from today and for the next few years, you're gonna see a lot more of these players catching on with these lies. You know what I mean? They're gonna catch up with a lot of these lies and start exposing them on their hypocrisy. You know what I mean? And it's up to us as fans to start reading and start being up to date with a lot of the lies. All right, you got to stop watching a lot of the mainstream media, what they're trying to push. Because listen, if it's not actually been factually been reported out there, you know what I mean, then you know what? Don't even believe, you know, these analysts. You know what I mean? That's why I don't watch Undisputed. I don't watch First Take. You know, I used to watch those shows religiously back in college. But then as time goes on, you start to think, why am I watching these guys, you know, debate their garbage every day? You know what I mean? It's just become ridiculous. That's why I don't watch them no more. I have no interest. I have no time to listen to their lies. You know what I mean? But this is one of the reasons why I haven't not watched as much NBA basketball this year, off of those two reasons alone. You know, the fake narratives that a lot of these analysts like to play, and then also the constant movement of super teams is really weighing my interest. You know what I mean? That's just it is what it is. But I will be watching the playoffs when it starts, you know, coming around, because there's gonna be a lot of things to talk about during that time. I guarantee you that. But that's just my 2 cents of how I feel about things, man. You know, I do come across a little bit as an old school guy, a little bit, even though I'm 28 years old. You know what I mean? But you know, it's just the whole era as of right now is just absolutely ridiculous. And you know, I just not been tuned into basketball as much as I should be. You know, I mean, hope and maybe next year I will be, but that's just not how I feel about it. So, but it just is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section below, and with that, I'm out. Peace.